Probability and relative frequency. Question 1. The probability that a biased dice will land on a 6 is 0.3. The dice is going to be rolled 200 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times the dice will land on 6. Now 0.3 is 30%. So you have to work out 30% of 200. Which is 60. So the probability that this dice is going to land on 6 if it's rolled 200 times is 60. Question 2. The probability that a sunflower seed will germinate is 0.9. Ellen is going to plant 550 sunflower seeds. Work out an estimate for the number of seeds that will germinate. 0.9 is 90%. 90% of 50 is 45. So out of those 50 sunflower seeds, 45 seeds will germinate. Question number 3. The probability that Frank scores a penalty is 0.86 or 86%. Frank is going to take 50 penalties. Work out an estimate for the number of times Frank will score. 86% of 50 is 43. Question 4. The probability that Matt scores a penalty is 0.96. Matt is going to take 25 penalties. Work out an estimate for the number of times Matt will score. 96% of 25 is 24. So Matt will score 24 out of 25 penalties. Question 5. In a bag, there are only red counters, blue counters, and white counters. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The table shows the probability of the counter being red and blue. Complete the table to show the probability that counter will be white. We all know that probabilities add up to 1. So what's the thing that if I put here, the sum of these three will add up to 1? 0.5 plus 0.3 is 0.8. 1 take away 0.8 is 0.2. The probability of taking out a white counter from the bag is 0.2. Question number 6. In a box, there are only black pens, blue pens, and green pens. A pen is taken at random from the box. The table shows the probability of the pen being black and blue. Complete the table to show the probability that pen will be green. The information that I have right now is 0.64 and 0.24. If I add these two, I will get 0.88. 1 take away 0.88 is 0.12. Question 7. A biased spinner can land on red, blue, yellow, and green. The table shows the probabilities that the spinner will land on red, blue, and yellow. Complete the table to show the probability that spinner will land on green. This adds up to 0.81. One takeover 0.81 is 0.19. You can see by adding all four of these if it adds up to 1. Question 8. In a bag, there are only red counters, blue counters, and white counters. This is the ratio of red to blue to white. The counter is taken at random from the bag. Complete the table to show the probabilities of the counter being red, blue, or white. 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 12. So the probability of getting red is 5 over 12, blue is 4 over 12, and white is 3 over 12. Question 9. In a bag, there are only black, white, and red counters. The counter is taken at random from the bag. The table shows the probability of taking a black counter and a white counter. Complete the table to show the probabilities of the counter being red. 3 over 10 added to 3 over 5. It's 9 over 10. 1 take away 9 over 10 is 1 over 10. Question 10. A bi-spinner can land on red, blue, yellow, and green. The table shows the probabilities that the spinner will land on red and yellow. The probability of landing on blue is the same as the probability of landing on green. Complete the table to show the probabilities of spinner landing on blue and green. I can represent blue by X and green by X. Zero 0.12 added to 0.26 is 0.44. X plus X is 2X. 2X is 1 take away 0.44, which is 0.56. X is 0.56 divided by 2, which is 0.22. So the probability of getting a blue or a green is 0.22. Both these probabilities are same, and if you add all four of them, it will give you 1. Section 11. A bias spinner can land on red, blue, yellow, and green. The table shows the probabilities that the spinner will land on red, blue, and yellow. Complete the table. This will give me 0.7. Kelly is going to spin the spinner 60 times. Work out an estimate for the number of times the spinner will land on red. The probability of getting a red is 30% or 0.3. 30% of 60 is 18. Question 12. In a bag, there are only red counters, blue counters, and white counters. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The table shows the probability of getting a red counter. The probability of getting a blue counter is the same as the probability of getting a white counter. Complete the table. I can represent blue and white by X. One take away 0.2 is 0.8. 0.8 divided by 2 is 0.4. There are 18 red counters in the bag. Work out the total number of counters in the bag. I can represent the total counters by x. 0.2x or 20% of x is 18. Now the probability of getting red is 0.2. So 0.2 of however many counters there are is 18. So total counters are 18 over 0.2. $90. There are 90 counters in the bag. Question 13. A bias spinner can land on 1, 2, 3, or 4. The table shows the probabilities that the spinner will land on 2 and 4. The probability that the spinner will land on 1 is twice the probability that the spinner will land on 3. Twice means two x's, so it's going to be 2x. The sum of all four of these should be 1. 0.32 added to 0.17 is 0.49. 2x plus x is 3x. Zero 0.51 divided by 3 is 0.17. So this is 0.17, and twice of x, which means twice of 0.17, is 0.34. Johnny is going to spin the spinner 200 times. Work out and estimate for the number of times the spinner will land on 2. 32%, 200 is 64. Question 14. The table shows the probabilities that a biased dice will land on 1, on 2, 3, 5, or 6. The dice is rolled 200 times. Work out and estimate for the number of times the dice will land on 2 or on 4. The first step here is to find the missing probability. The missing probability, if we add all of them, it's 0.76 plus x is equals to 1. X is 1 take away 0.76, which is 0.24. Two or 4, the probability of landing on 2 is 0.2 and on 4 is 0.24, which is 0.44. $200 times 0.44 is 88. Question 15. In a box, there are only red pens, blue pens, black and green pens. Pen is taken at random from the box. The table shows the probabilities the pen will be red or will be green. The probability that the pen will be black is 3 times the probability that the pen will be blue. First step is to work out the missing probabilities. One takeaway is 0.56 is 0.44. X is 0.11. And 3 times 0.11 is going to be 0.33. Now it says there are 28 green pens in the box. Work out the number of black pens in the box. 0.14 of x is 28. X is the total number of pens here. 28 over 0.14 is 200. So there are 200 pens in the box. The number of black pens, the probability of getting a black is 0.33. 200 times 0.32 is 66. There are 66 black pens in the box. Question 16. In a bag, there are only red counters, blue counters, green counters, and yellow counters. A counter is taken at random from the bag. The table shows the probabilities that the counter will be green or yellow. The probability that the counter will be red is twice the probability that the counter will be blue. Let's first work out the missing probabilities. X is 0.15 and twice of x is 0.30. There are 21 green counters in the bag. Work out the number of red counters in the bag. The probability of getting green is 0.35. So 35% of total number of counters, which is y, is 21. Y is 21 over 0.35. Which is 60. The total number of counters in the bag are 60. And they're asking you to work out the number of red counters. The probability of getting red is 0.30. So 60 times 0.30 is 18. So there are 18 red counters in the bag.